Todd Grimshaw is held captive in tense new ITVX scenes from Coronation Street. He finds himself in even greater danger. In tonight's episode, Todd Grimshaw is put at risk once again as the sinister Theo Silverton locks him inside their flat. In recent months, audiences have watched Todd become stuck in a toxic relationship with Theo, who has escalated from controlling behavior to physical abuse toward his husband. Todd's friends have grown more concerned about his situation, but they haven't yet managed to free him from Theo's grip. At the same time, Summer Spellman has been searching for answers surrounding Billy Mayhew's death, and last week Carl hinted she should look closer to home to uncover the truth. In tonight's storyline, Theo and Todd are getting ready for their planned move to Belfast on Monday. Realizing he'll miss Weatherfield, Todd suggests going to the Rovers for a farewell drink, but Theo quickly shuts the idea down. Todd insists he can't leave without seeing Summer, and tells Theo he at least wants to say goodbye to her face-to-face. Elsewhere at the corner shop, Summer opens up to Asha about her growing suspicion that someone besides Carl was involved in Billy's death, asking what Asha recalls about the crash. After receiving a message from Todd, Summer heads to his flat but finds only Theo there. Feeling uneasy, she questions him about Billy's last moments, while Theo begins to suspect she knows more than she's revealing. Later at the Rovers, Summer finally meets Todd, but she's stunned when he reveals he's leaving for Belfast the next day. Seizing what could be her final opportunity, Summer tells Todd that Carl believes another person is responsible for Billy's death. She adds that Theo could be capable of killing Billy, though she doesn't understand his motive, leading her to realize Todd may know why Theo would want Billy gone. Before they can continue their conversation, Theo interrupts and pulls Todd away as they prepare for their move. Back at the flat, Todd admits to Theo that he isn't ready to leave and wants to stay behind to support Summer, who is struggling deeply. Acting as though he understands, Theo tells Todd he can join him in Belfast in a month once things are arranged. However, as Todd begins unpacking in the bedroom, Theo secretly takes his phone and locks him inside, leaving Todd terrified as he shouts for someone to let him out. Next week's Coronation Street spoilers reveal troubling developments for George, along with a major update involving Todd. The upcoming episodes promise intense drama on the cobbles, with several fan favorites facing difficult challenges. Viewers of Coronation Street are set to feel concern for multiple residents in the coming week. In the episodes ahead, there are hints that a longtime character may leave Weatherfield after 31 years, while George Shuttleworth is dealt devastating news as his business continues to suffer from negative reviews and false fraud accusations. The storyline also suggests a possible exit after 3 decades in Weatherfield, as George struggles with the impact of damaging allegations and ongoing criticism affecting his enterprise. Fans will recall that newcomer Mal Roper has recently been causing trouble for Bernie Winter. After a drunken encounter at the Chariot Square Hotel, Mal has continued to pursue Bernie relentlessly, even targeting her family. Following electrical work at Roy Cropper's cafe, where Mal deliberately exaggerated the time needed just to stay close to Bernie, next week sees Roy caught up in a dangerous revenge plot orchestrated by Mal. In upcoming scenes, Roy starts to feel unwell and leaves his Batwatch meeting early, only to return home and find the power is out. He then tells newcomer Jody Ramsey to take the day off before heading upstairs to rest. Soon after, Carla Connor joins Dev Alahan and Bernie outside the cafe, where they notice smoke pouring out of Roy's flat. As everyone believes Roy is still at the Batwatch, the question remains, will anyone realize in time? Meanwhile, inside the flat, Roy lies unconscious as thick, dangerous smoke fills the space. Will he survive, or could this be the end of his 31-year presence on the cobbles? Not long ago, a woman named Annie visited George Shuttleworth's funeral parlor, clearly upset and dissatisfied. She confronted George, who had recently arranged her mother's funeral, alongside Todd Grimshaw and Christina Boyd, accusing him of manipulating her mother and exploiting her vulnerability to benefit from her will. Annie alleged that her late mother had changed her will to leave George £10,000. Although shocked, George insisted he was innocent, but Annie remained doubtful and took him to court, also damaging his reputation with negative reviews and influencing other clients against him. Recently, Annie won the court case despite her claims being untrue. As a result, George was ordered to repay the money and also cover her significant legal expenses. In the scenes ahead, a discouraged George confides in his sister Glenda that he might be forced to sell the business to Rest Easy at a lower price. Meanwhile, Christina secretly begins forming a plan. But what could she be up to? Fans will recall that Theo Silverton, played by James Cartwright, has been controlling and abusing his partner Todd Grimshaw, portrayed by Gareth Pierce, for months, even pressuring him into marriage recently. Thankfully, Theo's true nature is starting to be exposed on the cobbles, as Todd's father figure and colleague George quickly sees through the manipulative builder. At the same time, Gary Windus promises to support Todd, firing Theo from his job and confronting him about his behavior. As pressure mounts around him, Theo becomes increasingly desperate to move to Belfast with Todd. However, spoilers suggest that his dark secret, his involvement in leaving Billy Mayhew for dead in the Corrie crash earlier this year, may soon be revealed, placing Todd in a crucial situation. In upcoming scenes, Sarah Platt informs George about Theo and Todd's plan. Along with Summer, they go to confront Todd, but Theo cleverly deceives them by using the Ring doorbell to claim they have already left and that Todd has stopped for petrol. Meanwhile, Todd convinces Theo to unlock the bedroom door so he can call Sarah and back up the story, assuring him it will prove his trustworthiness. Todd then successfully persuades Sarah that Theo's account is true. Later, Theo pretends to go for a shower while Todd completes his packing. Taking advantage of Theo's absence, Todd tries to escape, but will he succeed in getting out of the flat? Back at home, Sarah is talking with Kit when the buzzer rings, but who could be there? On Wednesday, in a gripping standalone episode, Todd finally stands up to Theo, reporting him for assault and courageously sharing details of the abuse he has suffered over the past months with DS Lisa Swain and Kit Green. Elsewhere, Theo realizes his time is running out and desperately tries to flee Weatherfield. But as news of his violent and controlling actions spreads, has he already lost his chance to escape? On Wednesday, in a powerful standalone episode, Todd finally confronts Theo, reporting him for assault and bravely opening up about the months of abuse he has endured to DS Lisa Swain and Kit Green. Elsewhere, Theo becomes aware that time is running out and makes a desperate attempt to escape Weatherfield. However, as news of his violent and controlling behavior begins to spread, he may have already missed his chance to get away.